Every single year, billions of animals, large and small, take on epic journeys via water, air, and land. Whether to mate, search for food, or move to a warmer climate, these journeys are often fraught with danger, but are ultimately rewarding. We'll show you that animals go to extraordinary lengths to ensure the survival of their species, and stay tuned to number 1 to find out which animal gives up its own life in the process. Number 10. Monarch butterflies. Yes, I said butterflies. Each year, millions of butterflies travel south for the winter. The only insect migration of its kind sees these creatures cover large distances as they search for a more temperate climate. Flying from the Rocky Mountains in the USA and Canada, they travel south to Mexico. And strangely, if they're from the eastern states of the US, they travel west to Pacific Grove, California, a journey of around 2,500 miles. When they arrive, exhausted, they look for trees to hibernate in. In Mexico, they choose the Oyamel fir trees, covering them completely in a blanket of bright orange butterflies. And in California, they choose eucalyptus trees. Traveling around 50 to 100 miles a day, flying at speeds of 15 to 20 miles per hour, these butterflies use thermal air currents to help them along, as it can take them 2 months to finally reach their destination. But that's not the end of it either, because they travel all the way back to whence they came once winter is over. Number 9. The Sardine Run. Moving from the air down to the sea, the sardine run is a huge gathering of, believe it or not, sardines, or actually, southern African pilchards. These fish gather in the billions to spawn in the cooler waters of the Agulhas Bank before moving north along the coast of South Africa towards Mozambique, and eventually heading out to the Indian Ocean. With shoals that are often more than 4 miles long, 1 mile wide, and 1,000 foot deep, this gathering itself acts as a draw for other, smaller migrations of large ocean hunters on the lookout for a good meal, creating feeding frenzies wherever these small fish go. Predators such as sharks, dolphins, and humpback whales all zero in on the billions of fish from below, while birds, such as the Cape gannets, attack from above. But these fish gather in such vast numbers that the predators can't get them all. And so, spawning in this massive way helps ensure the future of the species. Number 8. Green sea turtles. Staying in the salty blue, but this time following thousands of endangered green sea turtles, as each year the female turtles return to the beaches that they were hatched on. For some, this means returning to Costa Rica's Tortuguero National Park. For others, it's the remote islands along the Great Barrier Reef. Regardless of where they are heading, they will all travel great distances through the dangerous open ocean to locate the very beaches that they swam into the oceans from when they hatched. They haul themselves up onto the beach, find a suitable location, dig a hole, and then lay up to 100 eggs before burying them safely away and then slipping back into the ocean. Again, in doing this, they are putting themselves at risk because just like with the sardines, their predators also know of this event, and female turtles are often met by the ragged teeth of sharks. But so long as their eggs are safe, it's all worth it once they hatch. Number 7. Wildebeest. Driven by the need to eat, up to 1.5 million wildebeest follow the rains across Africa each year. I'll wait for you to finish singing that Toto song in your head. Or was it Ninja Sex Party? Anyway, they are often joined in this endeavor by thousands of zebra and numerous other herds of grazing animals. They arrive shortly after the rains fall on the southern Serengeti in November and December, feeding on the fresh green grass. They will stay in this location until around March. But keep in mind that most of the females have calves in February, drawing a lot of attention from lionesses, leopards, and cheetahs on the plains. As their newborns gain strength and the grasses begin to die off, the herds start their journey north in April and May. By June, the animals start to hit some dangerous parts of their journey. The Grumeti River, while at this time of year is mainly pools, it only slows the progress of the herds and is another area where predators will lay in wait. By September, as they continue to travel even further north, they hit the Mara River, causing them serious problems. The young face the risk of being dragged away in the swollen river by currents and then drowning. And there are also hundreds of crocodiles waiting for an easy meal. Those that make it through the waters then begin their journey back south to the southern plains of the Serengeti National Park, and the whole cycle starts again every year. Number 6. Red crabs. Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean is an island covered by rainforest and is home to more than 50 million bright red, palm-sized land crabs. Driven by the need to breed, the small burrowing creatures set out at the beginning of the wet season, October through November, on a synchronized island-wide mass migration to breed and release their eggs into the sea. The rains give them damp soils, and the overcast sky gives them protection from the sun on their long and difficult journey. This is important because if at any stage they're caught up in the open sun for too long, it will dry them up and they'll die. It's thought that the timing of the migration may be linked to the phases of the moon because high and low tides at this time of year do not differ too much, making it safer for the females to enter the water and release their precious eggs. The main migration can last up to 18 days as these small crabs scale cliffs, forests, and risk being run over as they pour across the roads in order to follow the routes that they use each year on both the outward and homeward legs of their impressive journey. As for the billions of eggs laid each year, well, they hatch almost immediately and spend around a month in the ocean before returning to the shore to begin their lives on the island, creating their very own migration of tiny baby crabs. Number 5. Flamingos. These iconic-looking birds are probably more surprising than you knew. Living in an extremely toxic, highly alkali water, they survive by eating blue-green algae, which is a plant that produces cyanide. While the levels of this plant that they consume would kill most other animals or seriously damage their internal organs, the only side effect it has on flamingos is that famous pink hue. With few other animals able to cope with these conditions, the flamingos have very little competition for food. They gather in huge flocks wherever the food is most abundant, and these flocks can be millions strong. The vast flocks synchronize their breeding, which gives the offspring the best chance of survival. It is this synchronized nesting that draws millions of birds to the same locations each year, as from April to June, they arrive to nest at Lake Natron in Tanzania from the Rift Valley lakes of East Africa, where they can be seen performing synchronized mating dances. And once the babies are ready, the mass migration happens again, back to the lakes they came from. Number 4. Fruit bats. In Zambia, one of the world's largest yet least known mammal migrations occurs each year. From October to December, upwards of 10 million straw-colored fruit bats descend onto a small patch of forest in the Kasanka National Park. They're here to gorge on the abundance of fruit hanging from the trees. Each night, these hungry creatures can consume up to twice their body weight in fruit, and, crazy enough, this makes them responsible for up to 60% of the seed dispersal for Africa's rainforest trees. Though these bats gather here each year in the millions, little is known about their life away from this bewildering spectacle. They are thought to travel thousands of miles just to get here, and some have been tracked over 1,000 miles to the Democratic Republic of Congo. But it is believed that this may not be the final destination, and that these animals may fly even further afield, making this mass gathering all the more spectacular. Number 3. Emperor penguins. Every March, up to 400,000 penguins begin their pilgrimage inland. Compared to some other bird species, the 100 or so miles that they cover may sound like nothing, but remember, these birds can't fly. They must walk or slide the entire distance on feet designed for swimming. To make this journey more impressive, they are not able to take the same route each year because of the shifting natures of the ice, constantly blocking their way. And so each year, these birds take a new route, ending up at the same breeding grounds they always use. Once they arrive, the females lay their eggs and then head back the 100 miles or so to the ocean, leaving the males to hatch the chick and protect it through the extreme weather of the Antarctic winter, where they gather together in massive huddles for warmth. Once the females return, the starving males finally head back to sea, and the female will feed the chick, Then the pair will take turns in traveling the large and difficult distance to and from the sea for around 5 months, until the chick is able to enter the water and feed for itself. Number 2. Caribou. The migration of the porcupine caribou of North America takes place each year as a herd of over 170,000 animals migrate from Alaska and the Yukon towards their calving grounds at the Brooks Mountain Range. Their migration can take them on a journey of over 800 miles as they look for somewhere safe to raise their offspring. Traveling in such huge numbers makes it hard for their hunters, such as wolves, to pick them off, ensuring that they can breed safely and continue this journey year after year. Number 1. Salmon. Surely one of nature's best known and loved migratory spectacles is the salmon run. Each year, in the autumn months, millions of Pacific and Atlantic salmon return to the waters of their birth to spawn a new generation. The run is exhausting and can sometimes require traveling hundreds of miles all upstream, battling against rapids, waterfalls, bears, and the occasional fly fishing enthusiast. The salmon don't eat during this journey, and their bodies undergo a huge transformation so that they're ready to spawn when they finally reach their destination. This arduous battling ensures that only the best genes are carried through into the next generation, as the weaker individuals usually die en route. Some species like the Chinook and sockeyes travel almost 1,000 miles and climb up to 7,000 feet in altitude before they finally reach their spawning grounds. Once they reach the end of their long and difficult journey, they can finally spawn, laying billions of eggs, and even after surviving this incredible journey to perpetuate their species, most of them will die, with only a small handful surviving their journey back out to sea. Tell us about your favorite animals in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.